I'm Brenda.
And I'm Kristi. We're two friends from high school who are connecting and reconnecting over music and memories.
Welcome to Normal Bias Podcast.
We're glad you're here.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Normal Bias Podcast. It's Brenda and Kristi, and we have someone special with us today. Kristi?
Well, I'm not the someone special, but my friend Libra is. Y'all, this is my friend Libra Mattern. She was Libra Horn if you went to North Shore. And Libra and we have reconnected. I don't know what class reunion it was that we've reconnected and have kept up with each other on social media. And like we've seen each other in real life a couple of times, not just at reunions. And you came to Brenham and visited us. Libra you have turned into a grown-up that I really, really like, or who I really, really like. She's brilliant. She was minimalist before minimalist was cool. Libra, I have nothing but love for you, and I have really enjoyed getting to know you again. So
you're making me blush. Seriously.
You both graduated together. I graduated before you, and I knew of you, Libra, but I'm excited to get to know you too better.
Same thing. We were acquaintances, but not quite friends or anything. Different circles. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to know you again too. And I love that Kristi and I have reconnected and have had a chance to learn about each other's families and everything a little bit more the past few years. It's been fantastic.
That's awesome.
Inspiration to me, Kristi. I mean, like when I talk to you, it clears some things up or allows me to focus, I would say, because sometimes it's like, which direction do I go? And you just say the right thing. So thank you.
Well, thank you. That's not me. That's him. But I love it. And so Libra, you and I actually talked, what do you think, 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
Yes.
Wow. But Libra and I have a shared love of planners and that kind of organization. And she is the queen of budget and all of those things. So that she's my go-to person for that stuff. But I haven't been going to her because I've been really bad the past year with money. So Libra, I'm not talking to you about money right now because I'm not on track. But what?
You can't stop expecting perfection because you'll fail. So realize you're human and keep on going.
So did you study? I mean, did you always liked math and money? Like, how did you become the financial person that you are?
Me, math? No. Money, yes. Now I don't love money. I'm not motivated by money. I'm not driven by money, but I like that I can control the money. And that took a long time for me to learn, is that when my life is in chaos, one of the things that I absolutely have total control over is my money. I can't control my kids. I can't control my husband. I can't control life. I can't control my job, but I can control my money and my budget. And so that became more of a control thing, an obsession thing to kind of get me centered. And then I just learned to love it and figure out how to make my money grow and all that. So
that is so cool. I love that. And I totally understand that because my thing that I can control is my space and my living area. And so I'm like meticulous and a little obsessive about some things,
right?
Because that's when I feel anxiety or my life is out of control. That's what I do.
I am the same. And I would love to be able to control my space, but with 2 kids that were living at home now is much different. But when the kids lived at home, it didn't ever feel like my space. It felt like their space that I lived in, managed. So I controlled some of it, but the money I could control, even whether or not I made it. It was my money, and I can control where it went and who got it and how it was handled.
Wow,
that's the more you learn, the better it got.
So I know that I kind of led us here. You put that part of your career on hold right now because you're building something else. But I did. You are a Dave Ramsey girl. Like you.
I am. I went through the state branding training and graduated and worked with some people on that, some clients on that, and I love it. But I wasn't necessarily getting the fulfillment that I wanted out of that. And then I had some other pressing issues come up with some family and friends who were struggling with their life, not just financially, but with some severe PTSD and just some mental health issues. And I needed to be a better friend. So I had to put a pin in the coaching and learn how to be not just a better friend, but really learn how to support them in what they needed, whether they were suffering from PTSD or anxiety or just whatever they were going through. So I needed to be there for them. And so I started doing some research and learning how to support those friends and family members. And I have a particular family member that just didn't really wanted my support, but didn't really want to hear. And we all get in that place where we put up the wall. We're going to be argumentative. So I said, you know what? Let me just start an Instagram account that's positive and inspiring and empowering and motivational for other women or others who not necessarily have mental health issues, but I just needed to be positive and uplifting. And then hopefully this particular person would receive my message. And it took a couple of months, but they get the message and they're in a better place and what have you. So it's working.
So I feel like
I want to cry already.
I feel like, Brenda, this is like a present for you. Libra, tell Brenda who you are on Instagram and Facebook, because she's going to be like, oh my gosh, I've seen your stuff. Go ahead.
I'm like seriously getting teary-eyed. Well, first of all.
Wait. She's going to tell you.
Okay, tell me who you are. Okay, sorry.
You know it.
I do?
Oh, she does. So I'm Savage Sister Society.
Savage Sister Society. I think Kristi did tell me that. I might have already followed you.
I think you do. I think you've seen her stuff. I would think you, because I didn't realize that was you, Libra, until
I started sharing it.
We talked on the phone, or the last time before that we talked on the phone, because I've followed it and I've watched your stuff and I've enjoyed it. But then I was like, when I was talking to you and you were talking about it, I was like, oh, it's not just something you like, you're doing it. Because I do it.
Yes. I do it. And I try to stay very positive, and we do not, there's a lot of empowerment sites out there, and they're great, and they are uplifting, and they are wonderful, and they're like, go get it, girl, and you got this, and whatever. But they're also what I call man bashing or spouse bashing or whatever. You don't need him, and you can do this on your own. And I don't like that message personally. I think we all need other people. Nobody can be an island by themselves. So I don't like to man bash or spouse bash or whatever. I definitely don't do this by yourself, or you don't need it. That's not my message. It's you need other people. You need to reach out to other people, and it's okay to reach out to other people. Why are you sitting at home being miserable when all you got to do is say, okay, look, I need some help. You know? So. Well, I'm sure both of you realize, like when you're raising your kids, if you keep saying over and over, clean your room, clean your room, clean your room, and the kid's not doing it, you're going to tag somebody else in, whether it's your husband or your sister, your brother, your cousin, grandma, so-and-so won't clean their room. Can you please talk to them? And sometimes it's just a different voice. And so was kind of what was happening in my situation, is my family member stopped listening to me and stopped hearing me. So I needed a different voice. So I did a different voice. So
let's hear it. I'm like, all day long, I've been like, I can't wait to hear what Brenda says. Brenda, what's your present today?
I'm like, sweet. I have so many things. First of all, like off the top of my head is what a gift you are. Like how loving, because you're hearing and then you're stepping back and evaluating, and then you're taking action. Like, this is what I need to do. And yes. That's just so amazing. You
But
know,
would
other,
feel the same way. I mean, and it's for those that we love and that we care about. And if you're like, I know I can help this person, and you know they're not hearing you for whatever reason, it might not be that they don't want to hear you or don't want to listen to you or whatever. It might just be they can't. And so you find another way to get in. And that's kind of where I was at. I was like, I can help this person. So how do I go about doing that? How do I reach this person? And so that's kind of how it was born. And so I can reach that. And I hope I reach other people.
well, and that's my next thing, is that not only are you helping your person, you're helping so many other people.
I try.
And I love you already so much. I liked you. Now I like you and I love you.
All right.
Love you and I like you, bitch.
And it's been important to me to stay with the message. So when the Black Lives Matter stuff came out, I debated whether or not to post the black square and promote that, or not promote that, but to show support for that or whatever. And I didn't. And I had a couple of people message me and say, why don't you support this? And, you know, my response is, that's not my job. My job is not to support every race or every cause or every action or every political movement or whatever is going on in the world. My job is to help my audience deal with their everyday life. So if you are somebody that's at home by yourself and you don't watch TV or listen to the radio and you're not affected by protests or riots or Black Lives Matter or anything, my message won't reach you. But if you just need help to get out of bed today, then that's what my job is, to help you get out of bed today, or help you brush your teeth, or to help you get where your moment is, versus deal with the political or the whatever's going on in the world, because that's not your world. Your world is your world, literally right there around you. And so that's where I stay, and that's my focus. And we don't focus on other people either. I don't care what another person is doing. We're concerned about you and your health. How are you dealing with it? So I'm very narrowed, I guess.
No.
I think there's a difference. And I think
That 100%. and here's, you know, I was just thinking this in the car on the way home, so I work at an elementary school. I'm in the front office, and today was our first day back. And because, you know, the last 6 years I've gone through some stuff, and I am like hope, kindness, positive all the time, but there are days that I can't get out of the bed. Like, there is depression from a divorce, and my dad died of cancer.
Ooh, I'm
So
sorry.
thank you. But I feel like sometimes if I need to have a day like that, that people won't understand, because, well, you're positive. We need you to be positive all the time and help us. But sometimes I can't.
Why do they need to understand that you need a mental health day? It's none of their business that you need a mental health day, and you are not obligated to make their life better by being positive and happy.
Yeah, and then it may be
Put mask
me.
on first.
And it may be me. It may be my I feel, I don't, you know, like my expectation, but I do sometimes feel like, like I just want to be depressed today.
Put your mask on first. You cannot save anybody. You can't help anybody unless you're helping yourself. On first. You have to do that.
Yeah.
So that's a priority. So if you need a mental health day, take a mental health day. I mean, don't take a mental health week or a mental health month, and don't use it as an excuse.
Right. Definitely.
But we all need a day to, you know, throw on the Hallmark cry movies with the Kleenex. We all, so do it.
Yeah, I do. I try not to feel bad about it, but I do. And I think why that is because one time I posted something on Facebook, and I mean, I got some not haters, but people just were like, no. What is the matter with you? Like, that's not you. You're usually positive. Why did you post that? And I'm like, I'm just human. And so I took it down. And and today I think it's just a lot of emotions, just a lot of things. Like, it was really a good day and better than I thought it would be. But, I guess I'm just thinking of all the things I have to do. My boys are coming home tomorrow after being gone for a while. And I'm so happy, but it's still, I don't know. So
it's a lot.
A
And
lot.
it's a lot. Mm-hmm.
And we're doing this, and that's, that was one more thing. And that was, we kind of
But
debated.
this, I was excited about this. Like, if I didn't have this, then I probably would have come straight to the bed and then I would have felt bad about it tomorrow when I didn't do anything I needed to do because I just wanted to lay down and not. Yeah.
So you didn't get done some of the stuff you needed to do. What would have happened? Would the world stop turning?
No, it wouldn't. But I feel like I like to, when my boys come home from not being here for 3 weeks, like, I want them to walk in and everything just be how they left it. And, my oldest has some anxiety, and he likes things to be in their place. And if I think he would never say it, and maybe it's just me, but I think it bothers him if, the desk had all the papers piled on it when he left, and then 3 weeks later he comes home and it's still that way,
Mhm.
So I really try to, when they walk in, I just want them to be like, I'm home. So
And relax, the safe place.
I say something,
yeah.
though.
Huh?
Can I say something, though? You are home. Like that, when they walk in and it's you and it's the three of y'all and y'all have dinner tomorrow night together, that's home. The house is home, but you are home, whether you are somewhere with them or you're there. Like, what makes that home is your presence and your energy. And I guarantee you, for them, that home is something that they feel, not necessarily something that they see.
Right.
That's what my kids would tell you. So you are home.
Yeah. You are the safe space.
Thank you.
Put that on a hat. I'm your safe space.
Well, it's true. I mean, my husband is my space for me. I don't care where we are, what we're doing. I don't care who's around. If he's there or if I can hear his voice or whatever, when I'm having a difficult time for myself, he's my safe space. So it has nothing to do with my surroundings. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love a clean house and everything like that. But if it's not done, I can't get it done, I'm not stressing over it, because that just makes my anxiety worse to stress over it than,
Yeah.
And if it gets so bad, sometimes I'm just going to go for a drive so I can ignore the messy house. Because, sometimes we just don't have the energy to get up and clean or to or whatever. And sometimes we need to crawl into bed and just relax. So if I can't do that and tune all the other stuff out, I'll go for a drive so I can get away from it and tune it out.
So, but something you need to understand about Libra, when Libra goes for a drive to get away from it all, she literally gets away from it all. Libra, what are you driving? What's her name?
Oh, I drive a Jeep, a lifted Jeep Wrangler, and her name is Trixie.
Trixie? What color?
She's black and silver.
Nice.
And Trixie, I've never in my life named a vehicle, and I've never in my life said it's a him or a her. But Trixie is alive. She just is. And I will get in the car and turn on the radio. Not the radio, but like either the satellite or my hard drive or whatever with my music. And, hitting through, and I'm like, Trixie, this is not my mood. I need you to come on, let's get on board. And people get on board and she'll start playing the right songs. But yeah.
So after high school, did you go to college?
I did. I went to college for 2 years. Met my husband in the beginning of my third year, somewhere around there. I met my husband and dropped out of school and stayed with him, just stayed local and worked and what have you. And we've been married almost 26 years.
Wow, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Tell her
That's so
about your
cool.
kid.
Where did you go to school?
I went to San Jack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
then
y'all-
I waited tables and met him.
I love that. That's
y'all
a
have
long time.
kids, Libra, is that right?
We do. I have a boy and a girl. They are grown and they live on their own. Well, they're roommates. They actually live together, but they have their own apartment. And
I love that.
yep.
How
me
many
too.
how many years apart are they?
They're 2 years apart.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah, they're 2
That,
years
that,
apart.
I love
Um,
that.
23, 21.
I have a fascination with birth order and sibling relationships. It just interests me so much. And for a boy and a girl, brother and sister, to share an apartment, that's really cool.
They have had a super tight bond their entire life. So when they were little, they used to speak their own language to each other. Like, I don't even know. They just speak their own language, and they each had their own bedroom growing up because we always made sure they had their own space, having a boy or a girl. And they would always stay in each other's bedrooms and then turn one into a playroom. It would just kind of, it was what it was. It just kind of happened that way. But yeah, they say they're not close, that they're super tight. They're in denial.
Yeah.
So they love each other and whatever. She goes to Tyler before she'll come to me, and Tyler goes to her before he comes to me. So
I love that. That's really cool. And what a great, like, I don't know, to me that would be a sense of relief for a mom to know her kids are, together.
Well, it is until I call and go, is your brother home? I don't know. What do you mean you share a wall for your bedrooms and you share an apartment? I don't know. Let me go look. And I'll ask them the same thing. Is your sister home? I don't know. It's just.
Do you have siblings?
One sister.
One
She
sister.
graduated in 95. Yeah, she's younger.
Okay. I think I do remember that a little bit. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So just us.
Yeah, I have a sister too. My sister I was 91, she was 94. So,
So we was 92 and she's 95. So right there.
Yeah.
That's fun. Kristi, what about you?
I know.
Oh, I'm just excited to have you on here, Libra. And you're one of those people, like, it's like, what do we talk about? Because I have 3 more things that I really want to talk about with you, but I'm also trying to be mindful of time.
Okay, well, ask away.
Okay. So give us like a bird's eye view. You have really gotten aggressive with debt and you made some big life choices. So give us some numbers and what you did to get out of debt.
Ooh, I don't even know if I know the numbers off the top of my head. One of the, so when I first started my debt journey, we had credit card debt, what I call massive amounts, but it was probably $5,000-6,000 worth of credit card debt. We had vehicle payments, we had a mortgage, and we were still just, do we have this, like we wanted to buy something. Oh, well, I got, 1,000 left on this credit card, so we'll buy it here. That was our mindset. Is instead of and I had zero savings, zero. We were so broke and didn't even realize how broke we were. Mm-hmm. And then as I started taking more control of our finances and I signed up with Mint and started tracking, I thought seriously that I knew where all of our money went, and I was clueless. But we only spend, $300-400 eating out. But in my mind, I was counting restaurants, not fast food, and not every time you stop and go through Starbucks and whatever. And it turned out we were spending twice as much as our mortgage eating out every month. And right. So it was a huge eye opener. And I'm like, we can't do this. This is why we're so broke. Could you imagine what we could do with this money? So then we just started making mindful adjustments. And then Dave Ramsey came out with his training online. So you don't have to go to Tennessee to do the training. So I signed up and I did the training and I learned so much. And don't get me wrong, I love Dave Ramsey and I believe all he says, but I do tweak some of his stuff a little bit. based on our age. I'm not 22, 23. I need a retirement because I'm closer to retirement than I'm not. He says stop all retirement investments until you're out of debt. We can't do that at this time. I also knew, like last year, we knew my husband was going to change jobs at some point, some way, somehow. And we got really aggressive with putting money in savings as well as paying debt. And of course, my husband got laid off from his job. And I was thankful that we had savings for that. I was thankful that we knew that life change was coming. So when he got laid off, we had already moved into the RV. We'd already made the decision to sell our house. So we cleared that debt. Since we moved into the RV, it's been it was 2 years in April. We moved into the RV and we have sold our boat because it's just not practical for us here. We have other things going on. And so why are we continuing maintenance and insurance and payment? We sold the boat. We have gotten rid of almost all of our credit card debt. I think I have like just under $1,000 worth of credit card debt now. And so all we have is the RV and our 2 vehicles, and that's it. Other than that, we have no debt, and we are working very hard to get rid of this. I want to retire early. I want to travel. I want to see things before I die. I'm diabetic, and there's no telling what would happen if I get sick. For example, the COVID, there's like less than 1% chance of death for the average person, but for somebody with diabetes, it's 11% chance of death. And then the complications rise to like 70-something%. So, I have controlled diabetes and I work very hard for that. But again, it's because I want to live my life and I want to travel and I want to do all kinds of stuff. And I can't do that if I'm tied down to debt and have to have an income outside of retirement. So that's kind of our bird's eye view. We live cheap.
I love that.
You live well. And that's one of the things that I appreciate. You eat well. You eat at home. You cook at home. But I love that you are and Libra is one of those people, like, there's no, like, Libra, there's no pretense with you. There's no, like, you're going to act one way with me and one way with Brenda and one way on Facebook. And you are who you are. And I have loved that about you since reconnecting with you as an adult. And one of the things that I love about you is you're so good to share your meal planning with us, but you also shared that you use paper plates. And I love that about you, because I love that you're like, like, I have such shame about the paper plates that I hate. But I love that you're just like, no, I choose paper plates, because I choose paper plates.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My boys love a paper plate.
I'm like,
I do too.
No dishes, dude. And so anyways, I love that you're real. I have a list of words. I guess, how about if I give you my words now? And I could keep going on with my list of words for you for forever. And I think Brenda probably could add to it now too, because she'll be your second biggest fan. I'll be the president of your fan club. Brenda,
I'm the fan girl. Like, oh my God, I just love her.
Yeah. Brenda's going to have like I Heart Libra on a shirt tomorrow.
Okay. Let me know. Send me a picture.
I will.
She probably
will.
Probably like already like ordered it. But but Libra, when I think about you, I was working on your episode in my head today when you called. And so it's kind of fun to take a break from what I was doing to talk to you. But the first thing that comes to my mind is you are a family person. Like, you are Daryl's wife and the kid's mom, first and foremost. You were an excellent daughter.
Tried.
I know you try really hard with your extended family to be there for them and do all the things. So family comes to mind for you. You're a good coach because you're a good teacher. And part of that is you're a researcher. Like we were talking earlier, Brenda, and like, I'll just be like, oh, I'll try it. But Libra will research why it works and then go do that. Like we use different social media planning tools. And the one that she uses because she researched it for its benefits. I use the one that I researched because it has one benefit that I like. And I love that. Like, and she'll say, are you sure you don't want to switch? I'm like, no, I'm good. I like this one. But she's done all the research, so I really should just do what she's doing. And you're loyal, Libra. You are one of the most loyal people I know. You're caring. You're a nurturer. You're an encourager. You're so intelligent and you're so determined. And we haven't talked about your health. You just mentioned that you're diabetic, but you, in the past few months, have taken control of your health again, which I haven't seen you in a while, so I didn't know that you had lost control a little bit. So I do want to talk about that.
Yes.
But you're funny and you're fun. You're fierce in a very good way. You're not one to get fired up over nothing, but you are passionate about your people. You're passionate about the things you care about, your Jeep community.
Yes.
And don't tell Libra that a girl can't do it, because that will just make her do it more. Like, sit. I'm watching you. And you're a supporter, you're real, all the things. Like I could talk about you for days. I'm so glad that we got this opportunity to sit down, because I think that on my screen y'all are like this, but I can see the two of you guys partnering on something. I know that Brenda's got some things coming down the pike that Libra would be perfect for you to sit in on.
Yeah.
But I want you to tell us I'm watching the clock, because we have about 9-10 minutes before we need to wrap up for Libra.
Okay.
But Libra, tell us, like a lot of us, like I put on weight since March, and the time of year that I would have preferred to be losing weight to get ready for summer and all the things. But you noticed that you had put on some weight, and tell us like what, like health wise, what you've worked through the last couple months.
So in January, and I'm just going to stick it out there, I stepped on the scale and I weighed 187 pounds. And it's not so, I don't know what it was about that number. And I think when I got married, okay, so when I graduated high school, I was 80 something pounds. When I got married in 1994, 2 years after I graduated, I was 94 pounds on my wedding date. I was tiny. I was a 2x4. And 187 is 1 pound less than double my wedding day weight. And I think that's why it hit me, and I don't know. So I instantly changed everything. So I thought I started exercising more and started doing what I thought was better for my health. I'm diabetic. I knew at the time I was diabetic. So I thought I was doing better. Then May 15th, I woke up in the middle of the night and I was having rapid heart rate, and like 3 o'clock in the morning, didn't know what it was. It didn't hurt. It's not painful, just kind of a little out of breath. And I told my husband, I said, let's go to the emergency room. By the time we got there, it had stopped. So no more rapid heart rate. My blood sugar, my blood glucose was 310. Should be about 100 or less. It's 310. That shocked me. I checked my blood sugar all the time. It had never been that high. I don't know what happened. And my blood pressure was 200 and something over 100 and something. Again, blood pressure, I don't know why that happened. Came home and immediately changed my diet. And I did some research, because I'm a researcher. I did some research and changed my diet, made visits with my PCP and my cardio, said, this is the diet that I've chosen. This is why. What do y'all think? My doctors love and hate me because I do so much research, but also question when they tell me something. I'm like, no, that's not. They love and hate me. But so I made diet changes. That was in May. So from January to May, I'd lost like 6 pounds. From May to today, I've lost 22 pounds. So, 22 pounds. I'm 160 now. I was 187. So 27 pounds total. So somewhere around there. Anyway, I ended up having another attack, the rapid heart rate. Get in the car, we're going to the emergency room. Again, I live in the middle of nowhere, so it's like 30 minutes to get to the emergency room, 35, and that's middle of the night, floor, pedal to the floor. And it stopped halfway there, so we came home, like, whatever. 2 days later, my blood pressure was up and couldn't get it down, so went to the emergency room. They checked me in, they admitted me to the hospital. And they monitored me and they ran all the tests and did all the things, and Libra's perfectly healthy. Your numbers are looking better. Your heart's fine. No problem. I said, okay. That was June 11th. Then July 17th, which was 2 weeks ago, sitting here, I had another attack, which we now know the rapid heart rate is called SVT, or supraventricular tachycardia. And most people are diagnosed in like from infancy up to early teenage years. Well, I've had 3 attacks and I'm 45. So this is newly onset. We don't know why. So I had an attack here. By then I knew what it was, and I have tools to manage it, to control it. I'm using my tools, which turn out to be blunt, dull tools, because one of the things that you do is breathe through a straw and you pinch your nose. And to do that, the reason you do that is to build up pressure, and it kind of just resets the electrical impulse in your heart. Or you cough, or put your face in ice water. Well, we don't have ice water here. I'm like pulling ice out of the fridge, hoping it melts quick enough. And I'm blowing through a straw, but I'm blowing through a straw, so it's not a tiny straw. So I'm not building up pressure. So what I'm doing is right. It's just not sharp enough tools, is how you would say it. So I ended up having to call 911 because you can't drive. They came out here, got me. We got it to stop. Had to take me to the emergency room because so like your heart rate is normal 60, 70 beats. Y'all are sitting here. So SVT, it goes up to 200 plus. And so I'm sitting here at 60, 70 beats, and it would go up to 210, 215, 220. And it was up there for just over an hour. If your heart beats that fast and for that long, it doesn't pump your blood. So your blood doesn't go to your brain, blood doesn't go to your limbs. So you can't drive, you can't think, you get brain fog, and a lot of people will pass out. They'll just faint. I didn't, because I'm breathing through it, because I've researched, don't want to pass out. So I'm focusing on my breathing, trying to get it down. But it only covers the blood here. So we had to get me to ambulance here. We got it to stop, but we had to get me to the ER to get my blood pressure up because I had 0 blood pressure. And they ran all the tests, did all the things, and Libra's heart's perfect and we can't find out what's wrong. They did a urinary tract infection. They tested for that. They tested for thyroid. They tested for everything. And we cannot find out why or what. So I don't know if y'all can see. So I have a heart monitor, which it just sticks on, which is kind of weird. It doesn't even poke your skin. It just sticks on. So I have a heart monitor that I need to wear for a week, and I'll wear it through Friday. And that's so that they can monitor my all day. And if I have a funny feeling of something, if I feel lightheaded or whatever, I can put it on my monitor. This is the monitor and this is the sensor, and they go together. And I can record it on there, but it'll record and maybe, possibly, it'll figure out what's causing this. Now, doing all my research and knowing me, and my sister has this too, which she's had it for like 8 years, but I found out a week ago. Hers is brought on by stress and anxiety. Well, I'm super high maintenance and I'm a hot mess. So I think mine is also brought on by stress and anxiety. So for the past couple of weeks, I've been really working on me controlling that and using the tools that I tell everybody else to use to myself and doing that. But we don't have answers yet. There is a surgery that can fix it. I'm not real keen about that. But we're just going to figure out where we are and do what we can do and try not to stress about any of it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Wow. Between your research and her science, I'm just like, I just love y'all.
Bunch of nerds. But so Libra, can I say here what we talked about on the phone? Like talking about tools and stuff reminded me about what we talked about on the phone about what you have coming. Can we say it here so then we can celebrate when it comes to pass?
Yes.
Okay, so Brenda, one of the things we in true normal bias fashion, we talked to Libra for 15 minutes before we hit record and got reacquainted with Brenda and Libra and all of their 6 degrees of separation, which was really just the one.
Right.
But one of the things that Brenda said to Libra is how much she's always loved her voice. And I love Libra's voice. And we were talking fairly recently, and I was like, you need to be like, and we talked about you being on our podcast and
Yes.
and I was like, you need a podcast because you have so many things to say.
Mm-hmm.
And today, Libra told me the great news that she and her partner and Savage Sister, but listen to the premise of their podcast, Brenda. It's Camilla. Is that her
Camilla.
name?
Yes.
Libra and Camilla. Libra, you describe yourselves as yin and yang, like
Yes.
opposite but complementary. And I love
Yes.
that. But you guys speak, Libra, you're just sitting here and you're talking about tools. So what they're going to talk about is what's going on in their lives and how they're using the tools that they have or have learned or have researched to manage their anxiety, to work through depression, all of those things, but talk about regular life in terms of how they're using the tools that they're putting out there with the Savage Sister stuff, like how they're walking through life using the things that they're really talking about. Love it.
Yes.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. And, our podcast, I always talk about those people then and now. You're there on purpose because, you were this person that I knew of. I could tell you some things I remembered about you, and then now here you are. And already I'm just like, oh my gosh, thanks God for putting her there in the first place, because I need you in those tools, and you have no idea, Libra.
I always say, we're not an island and we can't do everything on our own, but I've always believed it's not what you know, but who you know and what they know.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's an introduction into a job or somebody teaching you something or whatever it may be. I always feel that I think it's very important that we reach out to other people for whatever it may be, whether it's to get help on our own or to help them. I've never understood, and don't get me wrong, I live in an RV in the middle of nowhere and it's still too people-y for me sometimes, but I think we need to reach out to others always. Even if it's from a distance, you always just reach out.
Yeah. I think it's, and I don't know if people say pride thing, but you hear people say that it's just so hard. I don't want to have to ask for help, or it's just so hard for me to ask. Yeah, but
because I think it's harder to do it by myself.
I think that's healthy, Libra. I think that is wisdom, because I think, we constantly, there's voices in our head, and like the truth, usually when the truth speaks to me, or it's really God, it's something I don't want to hear or something I don't want to do. But the lies whisper exactly what I want to hear and like the easy thing, So I think that what you're saying, like that's wisdom, that it's harder to do it. It's ill-advised to do it on your own, because when you're living in isolation, it's one thing to live in isolation, right? To choose to pull yourself out of the busy like you and Daryl have done. You're living in an isolated space, but you are not living in isolation, because you're speaking constantly to your kids, to your family, to Camilla, to your people. You were constantly seeking truth and seeking all of those things. And I love that about you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You're the opposite of an island.
Yeah. It's really important, I think, to connect, but it's important for me to have my own space. And I think everybody, whether it's your bedroom, your bathroom, your closet, everybody needs to have a sanctuary space that is just their own. But you just can't live your life by yourself. Think about it. Do you want to die alone? I mean, do you really want to? Okay, so this is something that breaks my heart. Y'all remember Heavy D, the rapper?
Yes.
Okay, and y'all know?
Voice.
Yes, and he passed away several years ago, and he died on a stairwell. I don't know if y'all knew this. In his building, he died in the stairwell of his building, and it was a sudden death. But a neighbor, was happening to go through that stairwell as well, and said, I stopped and sat with him because nobody should die alone. That has stuck with me so hard, and it scares me. Like when I had that attack a couple of weeks ago, I was here by myself. I was on the phone, and I was on the phone with a friend of mine, and I'm like, don't hang up. She's like, no, I'll let you go. I'm like, no, just stay here and talk to me. And it was, one, to get me out of my mind, but two, I panicked instantly. I don't want to die alone. It was just, so it was, my husband was 30 minutes away. So it's just, it's little things like that. So I always reach out and I make sure that, one, that I'm not alone, but two, I want to make sure that nobody that I love and care about is alone. And, what do you need from me? Do you just need to talk? Do you need to sit here and breathe? What do you need? I'm here for you, because nobody should be alone.
You show up.
Show up.
You show up. God, thanks, Libra.
That yesterday. So Brenda, tell Libra what your dad said, because I think Libra would agree.
So my dad would always tell us, he would say, get up, dress up, show up.
Yes.
And he would.
Now, I'm not dressing up, and I might not even get out and show up, but I'm there for you. Just call. I might be in pajamas.
Oh my God. She's my person. That's what I told Kristi yesterday. I said, well, I get up, but I'm usually stay in my pajamas. I'll make my bed, but I stay in my pajamas all day if I'm not going anywhere. I was social distancing before it was cool.
Me too. I've been practicing for this my whole life.
Me too. Today we were talking about guidelines and disinfecting. And I was like, dude, I got that checked too. That's what I do. But
I could talk to y'all all day, but I promised Libra that we would wrap up at 5:30. It's 5:36.
Yeah.
If we, Libra, and also Brenda has pointed out that we tend to wrap it up and then keep talking for another 10 minutes. And see, like, it's kind of giving me like stress hives because I'm trying really hard to be respectful of time. But so one of the things that we do is if I made you a mixtape, this is the song that I would put on it. And Libra, I have been thinking about yours for the last few weeks, and I have done lots of research into song lyrics because I was overthinking it because it's you, and I know that you would have researched it. And I ended up going with my first instinct on your
gut. Always go with your gut.
So I did it because it was really important to me that I pick something from our era. And so the song I chose for you is a love song. It's a love song, but I think the title and the words, I think, just capture you and your why perfectly. And I love that when we were talking today, like you were straight. You said you're not motivated by money. You used to be motivated by gold stars and good job, girl.
Yeah.
But you have, as you've grown up, you've grown to be motivated by what you're doing to serve others and by living well yourself. And I love that about you. So my song that I would put on your mixtape is everybody's favorite Bryan Adams song. Everything I do it for you, because
that is perfect.
Isn't that perfect for Libra? Because I think about you and I think about your husband and I think about the things that you guys have walked through and you are walking through, and I think about the person in your family and the whole reason you're doing the savage sister thing. You're not doing that for you. You're not doing it for the likes or for the notoriety. You're doing it to serve someone and love that person so well. And I just love that about you.
And that's the way, when starting this, we joke about no one's listening, but if one person listens, gosh, and you shared something today that's going to connect with people, and that's what it's about. Yes, the whole ripple. But I'm going to read you this quote because I just want to read it to you because to the world, you are one person, but to one person, you may be the world. And just starting that Instagram page for that one person so you could help them heal. So
they would listen.
That word listen. Yeah, we have a love-hate me in that word, but yeah, so they would listen, and you researched, you went out of your way to find that way to help them listen. You are a gift.
Thank you.
I'm so glad that I know you.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad to know y'all too. Y'all are both fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
This is like mutual admiration, and I love that I'm a grown-up doing this, because high school me would have been immediately jealous that y'all like each other so much because you're my friends. But grown up, I was so jealous and so all the things. even as a young woman. But I love, like, grown-up me is like, y'all are going to be besties. Brenda's going to be liking all your stuff and sharing all your stuff. Like, I can already see this going. And I am so happy that y'all have found each other.
Oh, well, thank you for hooking us up.
Yes, this is great.
I'm a connector. That's my job.
You are a connector.
Well, awesome. I'm going to have y'all on the podcast when we get up and get rolling. So,
oh my gosh, I would love that. That would be so fun. Meet Camilla, and I can't wait to listen. So
Camilla is amazing. She's crazy. She's crazy. She works for a company that buys houses and flips them.
Mm-hmm.
When I wanted to sell my house, I was so done with the house. I was like, done. I didn't want to put it on the market. I didn't want to deal with it. I was like, let's just unload it. Well, as long as we break even, we're happy. And I called her and I said, hey, this is our situation. We were on the phone for a little over an hour. And then she came out to the house to look at the house. And we met in person then. And we fell in love.
Aww.
We've been friends ever since. It's been just over a year. And we just, I don't know what it was. We just connected. It was, we really hit it off, and we've been there for each other. And she didn't buy our house. We ended up listing it and went with a realtor or whatever, but based on her advice. But she has just been super tight and super there for me. And it's just one of those right place, right time to meet her.
That's awesome. And so at Savage Sister Society.
Savage Sister Society.
Go follow them on Libra on Instagram. Is that the name of your podcast as well?
Yes, Savage Sister Society. I'm on Instagram and Facebook.
Awesome. I'm going to go like all the things.
Brenda will be your biggest fan now, and I love I'm here for it. So
yes.
Brenda, go do your thing.
I'm on it.
Go do it. We'll be having t-shirts and stuff coming soon too. Everybody likes to be a part of the group and be included. I know we all like our social distance, but everybody likes to be a part of that tribe. And so we're going to have t-shirts and stuff coming out at some point soon. I don't know soon, it's a relative term, but at some point, so everybody can be a part of the group.
I want a sticker. Like, I'm a sticker girl.
Oh, so yeah, I want a sticker.
I want a sticker for my cat.
I'm going to do stickers too. I'm going to make them.
That's awesome.
I'm still learning.
You have a great logo and all the things. Okay, so see, look, it's 5:42. That was a 6-minute dismount, girls. I think we can do better, but not today.
Not today. All right. Well, big love to you, Libra. Go keep doing what you do.
All right, will do.
You are changing the world.
Y'all are. Thank you.
Okay, bye. Good to talk to you.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, y'all. Are you still watching? Are you still listening? Oh, hey, Mom.
We're so glad that you're still with us. If you want to connect online, we're at www.normalbiaspodcast.com, or you can find us on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube. And our very favorite, if we made you a mixtape, we'd put all those songs on our Spotify playlist for you.
All the things.